Hello everyone. Well, here we are with our tutorial for this week, and this time we're going back to the 60s again, to about 1967, for a wonderful song called Those Were the Days. You may remember it. It was a huge hit around the world for the lovely Welsh singer Mary Hopkin. And now there are many people believe that this was written for her by Paul McCartney, but those people are wrong as usual. The tune is an old Russian folk tune that was incorporated into a classical composition by a Russian composer named Boris Fomin in 1925. And the tune rattled around for a while until an American itinerant folk singer named Gene Raskin put English lyrics to it in about 1962. Then Paul McCartney got his hands on it and decided it was an ideal vehicle for Mary Hopkin's pure soprano voice. And so it proved. Huge hit worldwide. We're doing this in A minor, and the best place to start, I think, is probably with the introduction, don't you? Yeah, okay. Now, our song sheet, I've laid it out in such a way that maybe needs a little bit of explanation. I've shown strokes, forward slashes representing beat marks as usual. But the first bit of the introduction, I've put an A minor chord in brackets, and I need to explain why that is. If you count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and as the beats in a bar, then the introduction, if you go back to the recording, it's a solo piano that starts the introduction, and the solo piano goes like that. So to get this to come in on the right beat, it comes in at beat 3.5 of a bar. So the way you count that is to say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and like that. So that's how the intro begins. Now if you're playing in a group or an ensemble, one of you could take that melody if you want. It's not difficult. But if you fancy trying to do chord melody and put the introduction over the chords, then show your versatility doing that as well, then that's up to you as well. I'll show you sort of the way it works. Pam's simply going to play single strum chords on the first beat of the bar and possibly on the third beat of the bar as well. So if you're going to try it with the chords under the melody, you play your A minor as usual with your middle finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. Use your little finger to fret that C note, which is the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Okay? So you get 1 and 2 and 3. And you hold that on there. 1 and 2 and 3. Now you need to come to the 2nd string, 3rd fret for a G note. But you need to use your little finger to do that, because your index and ring fingers are going to be needed to shape the D minor chord that follows. So we're going 1 and 2 and 3. Sorry. 1 and 2 and 3. There we go, and you're on the D minor to an E7. Don't forget that flattened A there, and then, well, it's a G sharp really in the context of this song. So that's how the intro works. Shall we just go through it sort of more or less at speed? Okay? 1 and 2 and 3. So that's the intro. Those 2 bars of A minor at the end, you can be doing little runs in there. Like so. And then we get into the verse. Verses, right, the first line of the verse I've shown as A minor 9th and A minor 10th. Well, A minor 10th is shorthand of my own devising, really. And you probably won't find it in any chord dictionary, so I'll explain. It starts on a plain A minor, then you add the 9th, which is the B note, which is the 2nd fret on the 1st string, and then you add the C note on the 1st string by fretting at 3, using your little finger. And that isn't really A minor 10th, it's just another voicing of A minor. But I phrase it like that, I call it A minor 10th just so that you know it's different from the standard A minor. So you're putting your little finger there. Okay, and Pam, you had an interjection at this point, didn't you?
Yeah. You're going from A minor 9th to A minor 10th, let's call it that. No need to take that finger off. Just drop your little finger in. So if you're playing A minor 9th with your middle finger and your ring finger, leave the ring finger there. Because you're going back to an A minor 9th anyway.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, very much so. Now, the second line, again, it's very, very typically Russian because it pauses briefly from the minor keys, or the minor chords, with a brief diversion into A major. Now, a lot of song sheets that you'll see online for this song don't even think about putting an A major there. They stay on the A minor. But you listen to the difference. Once upon a time there was a tavern where we used to raise a glass or two. Now listen to it with the major. Once upon a time there was a tavern where we used to raise a glass or two. So that major, just say, is a very, very typical of Russian music. To drop that little major in there, and it just adds so much to the song. You get to a D minor at the end of the second line, and now here's something that if you go back and listen to the original recording, you've probably got a clarinet or a flute doing this on the D minor. Doing a little run up and down, starting on the D note, 3rd string in your D minor chord. Then you lift your index finger briefly so you get the E note, put it back down again for the F, and then your little finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string for the G note. So we're going dum bum 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 bum. And if you're feeling really fancy, you can do a little hammer on and pull off on that G. And by that I mean, see, you just hammer onto the G note with your little finger and then pull it off. So, something that if you're not familiar with, hammer-ons and pull-offs, very, very useful technique, certainly enhances your playing. And if you're not aware of it, look it up online and practice it, because it is a very useful technique and very attractive to listen to. So we've got the first couple of lines of the verse. Now we come to the 3rd line of the verse, and I've shown that as D minor 6th, and then D minor 7th. Now you're doing exactly what you did over the A minor chord in the first line. You're adding the B note and the C note on the 1st string, but where you did it on A minor the first time round, you're doing it over a D minor. Now be careful, because you don't go back down to the D minor 6th, you go back down to the D minor, and I'll show you why. because you're going to a B chord and a B note on that string afterwards. So if you're already there, it makes the B chord slightly less surprising. A B major chord in the context of this song is quite surprising, but if you anticipate it with that B note, it ruins the surprise a bit. So we play a D minor, a D minor 6, a D minor 7th, and a D minor, and then into the B. Now you can play your B any way you like. Pam uses a full 4-string bar on the 2nd fret, and then those 2 fingers on strings 3 and 4, frets 3 and 4. I tend to use just a 2-string bar, index finger flattened across strings 1 and 2. Either way, whatever is more comfortable for you, whatever works. So there we are. We've then from that B, we finish off on the E7th. So the verse goes like this: 2, 3, 4. Once upon a time there was a tavern where we used to raise a glass or 2. Remember how we laugh away the hours, D minor and B. Think of all the great things we would do. We get to that E7th at the end, and again, if you go back and listen to the recording, you've got some instrumentation going, which is a little turn, a musical turn, where you go above the note, back to the note, below the note, back to the note. So we're going, it's an E note, and you go above it to the F, back to the E, and then below it to the D sharp or E flat. And you can do that on the C, on the E7th chord, by just moving your finger over onto the 1st fret of the 2nd string, and then lift it off. Your little finger goes over onto the 3rd fret of the 3rd string, and then we get into those were. And if you want to echo the melody in your playing, drop your little finger in on the C note, 3rd fret, 1st string. Those were the, and then it comes off. Those, my friend. Right. Okay, so that's the verse. And the verse repeats exactly the same all the way through until you find the little variations that you want to put in, because we're not going to play every verse the same, are we? Okay, so we got the chorus, and the verse is more or less a recitative. It sounds as if it's not quite on the beat, although in effect it is. It's just a clever arrangement. But when we get to the chorus is fair and square on the beat. Those were the bum 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 dee dee dee. In fact, you're playing, if somebody wants to play on the on beat, those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. Somebody else should be on the off beat. So we get those were the days. So we're doing it 1 and 2 and so we're going on the offbeat, and so that goes straight through. That's quite simple. Those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and be 7 forever and again. We'd live the life we choose, we'd fight and never lose. The last line of the chorus is different the first time of the chorus, and then it changes for the second and all subsequent choruses. In the first time round, the lyric is "For we were young and sure to have our way," but all other times it's "Those were the days, oh yes, those were the days." Again, just something to look out for. It's on the song sheet, but that's how it works. Right. So there we go. And then we get to the la-las. Now, when you're singing in a crowded, busy pub where everybody's drunk and thinking it's karaoke, you'll probably find that they try to do the long version of the la-las every time. Try to dissuade them. It's only the first 2 times, or only the last 2 times, that you do the full 8-bar la-la bit. First couple of times it's just half of it. The first half that goes 1, 2, 3, la 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 la. And we've also got that little A major creeping in there just to lift it a little bit, so but only for 1 beat. So it's, in case you missed it, shall we do it again?
No, then.
1 and 2 and 3, la 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 la. So that little A major. Okay, now we get to, there's a little turnaround on the A minor chord. And you can do it any way you like, or just play the plain chord if that's what you want to do. But a little run down on the A minor. I've got the low G ukulele here, so that works. You're doing a little run down, going E, open string 2nd, D, 2nd fret 3rd string, C, open string 3rd, and then B, 4th string 4th. So on an A minor, we're going. You can use that one. There's another little turnaround you can put on the A minor chord.
Which if you've got a high G.
A high G, this works better. And it's a C note, which you add the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and then the B note, 2nd fret of the 1st string, and then the 1st string open for the A note, and then E string open for the E note. And if you want to be really, really fancy, there's a 3rd one, the 3rd little rundown that you can use all on the 1st string, but you need to stretch. So you play your A minor with your index finger and stretch your little finger up to the 7th fret, which gives you the E note. And then we can... But you need to be able to hop that little finger unless you can stretch to the 5th fret with your ring finger.
I can.
Yep.
It's doable.
So either of those little, or any of those 3 little turnarounds at the after the la la bit works equally well. So there you are, some variations. That's actually pretty much everything, because as I say, the choruses are the same all the way through. The lyric changes, but the accompaniment is the same. The accompaniment to the verses is the same, apart from the little frills and twills that you care to put in. The long version of the La La Las is exactly the same as the accompaniment to the chorus. So it's like this: 1 and 2 and 3.
Where were you?
I was there.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
1 and 2 and 3. La 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 la. And then you can do your little. Do 2 of those, any 2 you care to use. And then we get into the final verse, through the door there came familiar laughter, and so on. What you're playing is the same framework as what you've played 3 times previously. Then the chorus, then the full length, the 8-bar chorus length La La Las, And then we come to the coda. And the coda is interesting in that it's a rising perfect cadence, if you like, by which I mean that you play chords rising through the scale. So you play F, G, A. And interestingly, this song is in A minor all the way through, but it finishes on an A major, just to give a final climax, if you like. So the coda, I can't reach a top A, not these days. I need a step ladder and a following wind.
And tight underpants.
Thank you.
That's right.
So I'm going to take the singing down a little octave, just for that coda. If you've got a higher singing voice, then go for it. Take a run at it if need be. So after you've finished the final la 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 bit, it goes la la. So you're finishing on an A note up there. No, I'm not. So I'll take it down an octave. So we're going la 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 C, la 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 D, and F la la. There you go. Shall we do that again?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going those were la 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 C, la 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 D, la F G A. And there you are. That leaves everybody on their feet, yelling, screaming, whistling, whooping, and begging for more. In my dreams. But okay, that's about it. So there are one or two, it's not a difficult song to play, but there are one or two little interesting bits that might enhance your playing of the song. Have I forgotten anything?
No.
I usually do.
I know.
No, okay. So there you go. That's a tutorial. We'll be putting out a play-along version at the weekend, and also we'll be doing our Friday Foolishness, another comic song. So look out for that one later in the week. And apart from that, let's sign off as usual with stay safe, take care of each other, and be kind to yourselves. And we'll see you soon. Bye for now.